Our next section, we're going to have Dr. Alani Gregory, and she's going to be interviewing Dr. Esosa. So you guys know we're at this event to improve all our wellness, but this is also a launch event for Thrive by Dr. Esosa. So as physicians, we're taught coaching in medical school. For example, a patient has hypertension. How do you coach them to eat better? But Dr. Esosa then went to a year-long training program so she can learn to coach people, not just in health, but in all aspects of their life. And so this is also a launch party for her business as she grows that part of her career. So let me tell you about Dr. Alani Gregory, since I already told you about Dr. Esosa. Dr. Alani Gregory is a physician executive, health equity strategist, a very sought-after health and wellness speaker, and a recent 40 Under 40 honoree by Black Health Connect. She is a Yale and Columbia trained internal medicine doctor. She is committed to educating both communities and clinicians about health issues impacting underserved populations. She has written opinion pieces for platforms including CNN, Kevin MD, PBS, NewsHour, and Stat News. And her thought leadership is highlighted in the newly released book titled All Business is Personal. She is a proud native of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Dr. Alani continues to serve her community as Vice President of DFG Community Impact Foundation, and she is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. So come on up, ladies.
For a second, I didn't recognize myself. Thank you for that introduction. I was like, that's me? What's she talking about? But I'm so excited to be here and see all you beautiful women dressed in all these beautiful colors. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, I'm so excited to speak with my very dear friend, Dr. Esosa, and really congratulate her on the most amazing and beautiful launch of her business. So let's give it up for her. And so we're going to be in conversation today. It's going to be a 15-minute conversation. We'll save a few minutes at the end if you have any questions. And we're just going to talk a little bit about who this amazing lady is who's sitting next to me, but also more importantly about one of the tools that we want to empower you to consider, which is health coaching. One of the tools you can add to your wellness toolkit. So without further ado, we're going to jump into conversation. And so I met Dr. Esosa when I moved to DC about 6 years ago now, or 5 maybe. And she is one of those friends that, you know, you bring something to her and she always approaches things with curiosity. She's like, tell me more. And I'm like, girl, by the end, your whole life story is on the table and she's helped you figure something out. So she is such an amazing person, and I'm really happy to share her with you today. So, Dr. Esosa, tell us a little bit, see, and usually I'll be cracking her up. So tell me a little bit about who is Dr. Esosa and what brings you joy?
All right, so it's just weird hearing you call me Dr. Esosa.
I know, but we gotta...
we have to get it together. So I would say I see myself as two separate people. I'm the physician and the person with the titles, and then I am the Esosa or Chineye or Ashley that my family members or friends call me. So as Dr. Esosa, I am the internal medicine physician. I am the person who takes my patients' health very seriously. I am the person who is very thorough, is what my patients say that I do. I'm always in my patient's business because I need the full story so I can help you get your life together. So there's a Dr. Esosa that's the primary care physician, and then there's the certified wellness coach. And in that hat, under that hat rather, I'm the person who acts as your accountability partner. So I'm your go-to. I'm the person you can message when you're falling behind on your goals or you need some creative ways to get to exercising or to choose healthier options like a fruit smoothie versus chocolate sundae or whatever that is. So I am, as a health and wellness coach, I am the person that you go to that holds your hand to get your goals accomplished, be it sleep, work-life balance, relationships, whatever it is, I am your go-to. I am available to you. I am accessible to you. Then as Esosa, I am a best friend. I am a girlfriend. I am a girl's girl. I am an aesthete, I think is what they call it, someone who loves beauty. And I'm a poet. I am a painter. I am a fashion designer, or I used to be. So I'm someone who loves color, who loves community, who loves to connect with people, who loves to connect people with people, who loves to see people grow and champion people as well. Did you ask me anything else? Or that was it?
I'm just listening. Okay. That was great.
I'll stop there.
And I can attest to that. I remember joining one of your first healing circles and seeing all the women on the Zoom talk about their experiences, and everybody left there with each other's numbers, and made a connection with somebody who lived in DC. So, you're really great at connecting people. But I've also gotten to learn a little bit more about your abilities in coaching, because I signed up to be one of her coachees. You can't always get free advice from your friends. Sometimes you gotta invest in their business, right? So, and honestly, that experience has been so great so far, and I'll share a little bit more about that later. But as a fellow physician, I'm curious, and I'm sure the audience is curious as well, what made you pivot to exploring health coaching, and specifically, why did you choose ambitious women like us to focus on?
Sure. So as a primary care physician, well, I'm just curious, how many people have joined Healing Circle before? Oh, great. Awesome. Hi, girls. We're going to bring that back as a group coaching platform. So if you just join the newsletter, you're going to see it on there, and you'll be able to join us in community virtually and sometimes in person. But as a primary care physician, is anyone familiar with what that means to be a primary care physician? Not really. Okay, great. So we go to medical school, and then you choose a specialty. So my specialty is internal medicine. What that means is I am a physician, or both of us actually are physicians you come to from head to toe. And then if we need to see someone for further heart issues, or maybe your migraines are not working, or something complex is going on, then we send you to the cardiologist for your heart, or to the nephrologist for your kidney. So we are your general practitioner. We are your one-stop shop that you come to first. So primary care, what I think about that as my role is for preventive medicine. So when you're having your animal physical, you see me. If it's high blood pressure, depression, if it's anxiety, if it's diabetes, if it's knee pain, whatever it is, you don't know what to do, you come and see me, and then I help you get through the system. So in primary care, I specifically chose that because I wanted to help people to prevent illness, and so what I tell my patients is catch things early, prevent things. So I'm doing that, but I found this opportunity for me to actually go deeper and to actually spend time with people in the nitty-gritty. Like I said, like Dr. Gregory said, I'm very curious. So if you tell me, oh, I'm not sleeping, I'm not the doctor or health coach who would just say, okay, take some medicine. No. Medicine has a role, but I want to know why. Why is this happening? What is the root cause? For instance, insomnia, difficulty falling asleep or maintaining sleep, to me is a symptom. It is not just something that happens or a disease process. And usually at the root of difficulty falling asleep is anxiety. At the root of that is your schedule, your work-life balance. I wanted to get to the root of what is causing you dis-ease so that I can help you to thrive, to feel better, to not just live, but actually, not just exist rather, but actually live, to flourish in life. So that's why I chose to take 1 year while I was working to become a certified health and wellness coach, which I'll be sitting for that exam soon to be board certified as well.
Amazing, amazing. Amazing. So the other part of that question is, why focus on the ambitious women? I'm sure many of you in this room are ambitious, are the people that other folks think are sleeping, your 8 hours, exercising 150 minutes, going to church and drinking your water. But, that's not really always the case. And so what made you, focus in on this group of women as your niche?
Simple answer is I am you. I am an ambitious woman. How many people here would identify as that? Are you a creative? Are you someone who's passionate about your work? Are you someone who likes to leave a positive impact in the world? Are you someone who has a demanding career? Maybe you've had more than one degree. So ambitious, it doesn't have to be professional. It can also be ambitious about your relationships, your community, the things that you are doing to develop, or even individually. You're ambitious about what you want for yourself in life. You're like, I'm not leaving this life with nothing, right? Like, is there anybody here is like, oh, I can just go and do nothing and, just die and pass on and not leave any mark. Exactly. So everybody here is like, I want to leave a positive impact. I'm a go-getter. Can I see hands up? I'm a go-getter, want to leave a positive impact. I want to get the best out of this one life that I have. So that is why I relate to that. Yes, I'm a physician, but if I wasn't a physician, I would still be pursuing something else that will help the community or the people around me or to make the world a better place. So that is why I wanted to focus on ambitious women, because we tend to prioritize other people and forget about ourselves. So I know the little things that we do. I know the doom scrolling. I know I'm going to this event and then that event and then this and that and that. I know all the things, the tricks that you're all doing because I've done them before too. So who else to coach you but someone who has been through it and is going through it? I have to coach myself. I have to seek coaching too. So I'm not a perfect example at all, but I am skilled and I am trained to help you with whatever it is that you're going through. And that's why I chose this niche, because I can relate.
Awesome. I love that. I choose you because I am you. I like that. And I think having that familiarity is really helpful. I find that in medicine as well, especially, taking care of a lot of Black women. They come to me seeking that familiarity, that experience, that sort of cultural sensitivity. So I think there is a lot of value in that as well. So thank you for choosing us as a group that you want to focus on. So people here may not know what health coaching is and what the benefits of health coaching are. So can you share with us a little bit about what is health coaching and why would, somebody choose to do health coaching?
Sure. So has anyone had a health coach before? Okay, about 3 people. Okay. Has anyone had a therapist before? Okay, more people. Has anyone had a primary care doctor before?
Every hand should be up.
Every hand go up. Please. So I like to start by defining the difference between what you're familiar with and then teach you about the new. So a therapist is someone who, we actually do have a therapist, 2 therapists in here. Can you raise your hands? Adela, Modesta, yes. I refer patients to them all the time. So a therapist is someone who typically helps you with the emotional things, right? And, the cliche question, which not all of them do, is, tell me about your childhood. So we tend, as therapists, not me, as therapists, they tend to go more, tell me about the past so I can help you about the present. It's more than that, but in general, that's how I would explain therapy, is more emotional digging and having you reflect on your thought process to help you navigate the present, but a lot of it does tend to go backwards. As a health and wellness coach, what I'm focused on is your present and your future. Now, because of my personality, I will dig deep a little bit. I am skilled to be able to handle some of your emotion, but that is not the niche that we're gonna focus on. Because sometimes, like some people said, your fatigue or your stress or sadness, those emotions, they do hinder your current goals. So as a health and wellness coach, my focus is the present and the future. We are setting goals each and every session. So for instance, let's say you're having difficulty sleeping. I'm always going to start with why. My philosophy is tell me the truth so I can help you remove the boulder that's in front of you. Tell me the truth so I can help you remove the boulder that's in front of you. I didn't say that I will remove it, I will help you. So you're still gonna push it out by yourself because in coaching, you are the expert. So as a physician, I'm the expert because I study the science, but in coaching, I don't put my physician hat on. I'm not even using my medical license in coaching, I'm using my coaching certification. So what I do is, you're the expert. I ask you the thought-provoking questions to find out what exactly is going on, which is where my curiosity actually helps me to get in your business. Like, what exactly happened at 10 a.m. last time when you said you were gonna go to the gym? But I do that with love. I do that from a place of curiosity without judgment. And what we do in each session is we talk about what we were going to do before, we talk about what we want to do, then we dig into the nitty-gritty, we set some goals. What I call those goals are experiments. So I typically recommend we do an intro call, which is free if you just sign up. My calendar is updated. If you go to my website, thrivewithdresosa.com, sign up for a free intro call. It doesn't mean we're going to work together because, again, I want to know if I'm the right fit for you and if you feel like you're the right fit for me. Sometimes I have told some people, you need therapy and not me, which is okay. And then when you've dealt with the emotional stuff, then you can come back to me because I want to make sure you get what you signed up for and that you are ready to do the work. So usually we do an intro call. Then you sign up for a package. And then in each session, we set different goals. Sometimes I've had people where they lost a job in the middle of the session. So yes, we were working on sleep, but we pivoted to focus on job loss and how to navigate that and what days do they want to apply for jobs and how to make it not emotionally tasking for them. So it's a flexible thing that we do, but whatever your life goal is, you can come to me because whatever you're working on typically affects you physically and emotionally. And typically that leads to stress, which leads to high blood pressure, diabetes. These are things that we can prevent. So I hope that explains what coaching is. And if you still don't know what it means, do an intro call with me. It's free. You don't have to sign up for coaching, but I can use that time to explain to you if it is something that will work for you.
Awesome. And so I'll give a testimonial.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
goodness. I was not expecting that.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I can't give you a bad review. This is your event. You might kick me out. So I signed up to work with Dr. So she didn't push me. I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to do something like this, and I just needed.
Sorry, can I interrupt you? I was very honored when she signed up because she's someone who does the research. She does not pick just any doctor, any specialist, any cruise, any plane, any ice cream. So I was like, oh, wow, I really must be doing something well. Like, I know we're friends, but it's an investment, you know? So I was really honored that you signed up to work with me.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. So I had been, like I said, thinking about doing a few things in my life that, there was a boulder, I think, in front of me. And I felt I needed a coach or somebody to kind of push me towards some of my own personal goals. So I have professional goals and, hitting those. But sometimes, your personal goals can take a back seat. And so I was like, let me get a coach. And one of the goals, I was talking to these ladies here, was around exercise and such, but also about writing. So I've been wanting to write a book since I was in college. I started one and then I stopped one. And then I finally reached a point where I was like, I'm ready to start exploring writing a book. And I just couldn't do it. I was just like, So I signed up for her coaching services, and she's been so helpful with pushing me to the next step. I've written 2 chapters. I met a coach, not a coach, but somebody who I'd call my mentor now on the train randomly because I didn't have my AirPods in. I met this New York Times bestseller, and I made him my mentor. And so we've been meeting regularly, something that I hadn't done. And she also is such a curious person. She kind of helps you figure out how to create space in your life, not in the typical way of putting it on your calendar. I was trying to figure out, how do I remember to write when I'm busy? She said, the book that your mentor gave you, put it on your coffee table. And that's been really helpful. I see it and I'm like, oh God, he's looking at me. Let me write, And so I think that's one of the unique things about you is that you really are in tune to the tiny things that people mention that actually carry a lot of weight, but we don't think that they carry a lot of weight, and she picks up on them and helps you to use that to kind of push you forward. So I'm really happy about where things are going with this book, and I can't thank you enough for kind of pushing me a little bit, and pushing it might be even the wrong word, coaching me along the way and helping to remove some of those boulders that, mentally were stopping me from, pursuing writing. So thank you for that.
Sure.
So I'm gonna open up the floor. Any questions from the audience? Questions about who Dr. Esosa is, questions about coaching, questions about what you might put in your toolkit, your wellness toolkit? Well, why don't we start? I'm going to give you some time.
Oh, here.
Yes.
I have a question about being a primary care provider. How do you navigate your curiosity with that wellness approach with your patients?
Can you clarify that a little bit?
As far as the time that you spend with them, because I'm sure you have tasks and things to do.
Oh, yes. So in primary care, I do coaching as well. So in the clinic I work for, I do coaching as well. But the reason I chose the clinic I actually work for is that they give us more time. So when picking a career, I'm someone who's intentional, I think was mentioned before. So I deliberately did not want to work for a clinic that would only give me 15 minutes with patients because I'm thorough and I need to know things and I need to ask you questions and I need to make sure you feel heard and seen. So for one, the system I work for outside of my job, my coaching business, gave me that opportunity to spend time. And then it's all about just for me, I'm able to prioritize, okay, I'm your primary care doctor. You can see me next week. In fact, some people come back the next day. You can see me tomorrow. We can continue this conversation. You can send me a message. So it's more of time management, which I did at some point see a life coach who helped me to discover certain things, which is part of what influenced me to become a coach too, because literally in just one session, my life changed, So I would say those skills that I learned, one, my training has helped me do something called agenda setting. Agenda setting is when we have you sit down and we greet you and then we say, what are the things you want to focus on? Give it to me in bullet points. I write it down and then I say, oh, you mentioned chest pain. I know you came for knee pain, but that chest pain is very important. Let's focus on that today. And then we can talk about the other thing another day. So I'll say agenda setting, being intentional about where I work are two things that have helped me to balance time restraints.
Other questions?
MM?
Can someone see a coach and a therapist at the same time, like simultaneously?
Question. Yes, absolutely. So the therapist can do the emotional lifting, and I would do more of the coaching piece, which is they're working to help you dig through the emotions. Now we are working on action steps. So sometimes therapists, I'm actually their sidekick because they tell you go journal, go walk outside, go do this. But some of y'all don't do it. So then you bring what they gave you to do to me, and that is our job in coaching is we say, okay, why didn't you do it? What's actually blocking you from journaling? I had a coaching client who, what was blocking her from journaling is she only went to her journal to journal about grief. So every time she went, it was just heavy. So I said, what if we journal about the positive things too? And now she journals every day, So sometimes it's just taking the time to just listen deeper, to figure out why exactly is this happening, and creating atmosphere where someone is comfortable to tell you the truth, actually. So sometimes I love when people do therapy and coaching because then I can help the coach, I can help the therapist to get their assignment done with the clientele. Okay.
Hi. How many sessions would you say health coaching someone could expect?
Sure. So I have 3 packages. The one I recommend the most is the middle one, which is the Thrive Lite. Yes. There's a Thrive Mini, Thrive Lite, Thrive Premium. A lot of people don't need the premium. That's more, you can talk to me every single day. That's usually if you're in a state of crisis, then we can do that. But the one I like or recommend for someone who hasn't done coaching before or really wants to get the ball rolling and keep momentum is a Thrive Lite. That one gives you 6 sessions with me. They're 30 minutes each. It will shock you, but 30 minutes is a long time with coaching because we're not rushing this journey. But it's 6 30-minute sessions. You're also going to be able to send me a message once a week on a HIPAA-protected platform. Then at the end, you have a bonus session a month later. Usually when you start, I recommend we do the first 3 every 2 weeks to just keep the ball rolling because life happens. And then we can space it out to every 2 to 4 weeks. And then after the Thrive Lite ends, I give you a stress kit that's tailored to you. So some of my clients, they like books or they like podcasts. As I'm listening through coaching sessions, I'm able to create lists that's curated for you so that when we're done with coaching, you can go back when you're in a moment of stress to come back to that and pick a book or pick a resource, or maybe for you was praying and you just forgot. So I create a PDF for you that you can always go back to. So I recommend the 6-session package just because I feel like after you leave that, you really feel like you've accomplished something. There's the mini. The mini is only 3 sessions, but you don't get the communication piece. I think that communication piece is helpful just because during the week things happen, like roadblocks or something like, okay, I couldn't get to my gym, so then you're messaging me like, oh, I'm so tired, my period came. And then we message and we can reignite the spark again. So I recommend the middle package when you go to my website, and I recommend doing that one just because it's more robust.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
This is all insurance.
Sorry, what did you say?
Insurance?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question. Oh goodness, yes, that was so. I don't take insurance, but I just recently got approved to accept HSA and FSA. Yes, so they will pay for it. Your HSA, FSA will pay for it. Yes. So insurance, no, but HSA, FSA, yes. And since you guys attended today, if you need a payment plan, just talk to me. That's okay. I know life happens, but I am invested in you individually. I don't know if you can tell that, but I can work with you on a payment plan.
Do you intend on growing your business with like other collaborators or like other, I guess like coaches as well, just to have more of a broader impact with other women?
Great question. Well, to be determined. For now, so something as a creative is easy. Something I coach my creatives with is it's easy to want to do so many things at once. So right now I'm just focusing on the individual coaching, and then we're going to open the group coaching, which is the Healing Circle, which will probably launch. I don't want to give it a date, so I don't want to. But we're going to launch group coaching next. And then I'm also doing corporate talking gigs and speaking, wellness speaking. So if you all have any firms you work for or offices, it doesn't have to be huge, I'm available to do that. So I'm going to spend probably this year and a little bit of early next year focusing on corporate, focusing on individual and group coaching, and then we'll see what God has for me. Yeah.
You're clearly an ambitious woman back there.
Yes.
Like, you gonna grow your business, girl? She will, in time.
Looks like we have 2 more questions.
Do you only coach women, like you mentioned, going to corporate retreats and things like that? Is it women focused or everyone?
So my brand is focused on women. However, for corporate and when I work as a physician in clinic, I do coach men and women. All genders are. I have the skill to do both, but when I was forming my own business for individual coaching, I wanted to focus on women because for many reasons, but I wanted to focus on women. One, I can relate, and there's some other list of reasons, but sometimes we try to reach out to men and sometimes they don't really, so I really feel men are better to coach men. In my industry at least, because they're able to walk in their shoes and they're able to look up to them in a different way. But when I do corporate things, if the men want to attend, absolutely. I do coach men in many other settings too.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. So being a doctor and hearing so many issues from people, maybe physically, mentally, how do you go about separating that from your own life, and how do you keep from carrying their own struggles in your own personal life?
That's a big question. We could be here all day.
Woo-wee. I will be very honest with you, that is a journey for me. It is a journey for me because I am an empath, so there's a quote that goes, it's a blessing and a curse to feel things so deeply. So I do feel things, but what I have to remind myself, in between patients or clients, I do cleansing breaths just so I can get rid of whatever energy it was that was exchanged and restart afresh, because that next person deserves to have the full me. So I am intentional about making sure I don't carry the energy from one person to another person. Even before I came upstairs today, Aisha, Chinedu can tell you, what did I do downstairs? I was doing cleansing breaths, and I get la 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 la. So The Sound of Music is one of my favorite movies. So I was doing like the do-re-mi's. So I feel things like in my body, and I'm intentional about that. So if I feel like it's building up, I shake it out before I move forward. But the huge focus is just so that those energies do not bring me disease, one, but also so that other people do not get negative energy from me. So it's very important to me. I love that question because it is something I'm continuously aware of.
All right. So thank you so much for being in conversation with us and also just creating a beautiful space for us to pause, reflect, find joy in small things, senses. And thank you for, designing a business that's focused on us as women thriving. There's lots of things out there in the marketplace, and oftentimes we don't find things for ourselves. And so thank you for doing that. And to this audience, thank you for showing up and investing in yourselves. And I hope you consider health coaching as a tool in your personal wellness toolkit.
Thank you.